What's up, guys? Your boy, K13. I'm going to talk about are the Bulls facing the inevitable. As the clock on the Chicago Bulls season continued to tick down, the noise surrounding their head coach continued to ramp on. One of the most overanalyzed situations in coaching is that of head coach Tom Thibodeau and his front office in Chicago. The rift between the two sides had been well chronicled, and a divorce seemed all but imminent. The question becomes when the two would part ways, not if. Thibodeau had 2 years remaining on his contract, which makes an outright firing somewhat unrealistic, especially with the number of would-be suitors for his coaching service. The Orlando Magic are said to be in a holding pattern, waiting on the outcome of Thibodeau's situation. Sources close to the situation say that only will the Magic give the Bulls compensation, likely a second-round pick or two, for the chance to get at Thibodeau. Sources also said that the Magic would meet the expected $7 to $8 million per year coaching salary Thibodeau likely command in his next deal. The Magic are not the only team keeping an eye on the Thibodeau situation. The Denver Nuggets and potentially the New Orleans Pelicans, as they make a change, are said to have Thibodeau high on their wish list. Current Pelican head coach Monty Williams remains in limbo, as does general manager Dale Demp. The Pelicans have gone to great lengths to deny that they have had lengthy or substantive conversation with former Detroit Pistons executive Joe Dumars. However, it's been known in NBA circles for some time that Dumars would be the likely heir apparent to the basketball operations job in New Orleans, likely taking over as president of basketball operations, a job currently being done by New Orleans Saints executive Mickey Loomis. It seems as the Pelicans can get Thibodeau, Dumars might be part of a leadership overhaul too. The Bulls have long been linked our head coach Fred Hoiberg. However, sources near that situation say Hoiberg, who's been dealing with heart-related issues and had another heart procedure last month, may not be looking up to jump to the NBA and the stress level associated with it. If the Bulls do part ways with Thibodeau, it's unclear who they would target as his replacement. Sources peg Warrior assistant Alvin Gentry as a serious frontrunner, while most of the discussion surrounding Thibodeau's future in Chicago is media-driven. The Bulls have tried to deny reports of a massive rift between their coach and front office. Frequently, saying reports are untrue or massively overblown. The Bulls have a big off-season ahead of them, not only in resolving their coaching situation, but that of pending free agent Jimmy Butler. Sources close to Butler say while he is loyal and appreciative of the chance and trust Thibodeau has given him, his free agent decision won't be tied to the head coach, while Butler won't be making a decision based on the head coach. There is a sense that a number of the Bulls players will have a significant problem with Thibodeau being ousted, namely franchise cornerstone Derrick Rose. Thibodeau and Rose have become close, with the head coach being one of Rose's biggest supporters while he rehabbed for his return and from congestive knee surgery. Sources close to the situation say Rose has voiced his concern about how Thibodeau's situation is being handled, but it's unclear if Rose has enough clout in the organization to stave off what could be the inevitable. There seems to be little doubt that Thibodeau will be out of a job for long, as it's believed he's the front runner for the two opening positions in Denver and in Orlando, and if reports are true, he could be the front runner to replace Monty Williams in New Orleans. With so many teams willing to take on Thibodeau, it seems the Bulls can avoid paying out the balance of Thibodeau's contract and get an asset or two in return. While that might not seem favorable to Bulls players and some of their fans, it seems like a reasonable answer to the problem in Chicago no one wants to really talk about. Much ado about nothing. The problem with living in a fishbowl is everything you do can be seen and overanalyzed, and such is the life of Cleveland Cavaliers star LeBron James. With Game 4 on the line, James waved off his teammates' option to take a corner shot, knocking down a buzzer beater to even the series. After the game, James revealed that the play in the huddle was for someone else, and this started a firestorm suggesting that James and head coach David Black were not on the same page. The problem with that narrative is that some time ago, Black and the Cavaliers made changes not only to the roster, but to the responsibility of each player. A big part of Cleveland's turnaround was the decision to put the ball in LeBron's hand, as well as allowing him to freelance and make plays on the fly. For most of the last 4 months, James had been making his own decisions on the court. This is nothing new. In fact, it's been quite common for LeBron to see something on the floor and make a judgment call. This is something the staff in Cleveland has been comfortable with, and they have had a lot of success. So it's no surprise that with the game on the line, James did as he does 100 times this season, call his own numbers. That wasn't a riff. This wasn't blowing off the play. This was business as usual for the Cavaliers. As with most things in Cleveland this year, everything said and done is being overanalyzed with an eye toward a riff or a problem. It's a much better story to say LeBron and his head coach are not on the same page than admitting this had been operational procedure for most of the season. Now, some might say this is another reason Black may be underprepared for the situation he finds himself in. But those inside the locker room like the fact their coach trusts them in the moment, especially when the game on the line. There's no question that Black has had a tremendous learning curve, but in an industry where control is overused and overasserted, Black trusting his players, especially his best player, in the moment is something veteran coaches do all the time. There's little doubt that everything the Cavaliers do will be put under the microscope, but the fact that LeBron made a game-winning shot when his team needed him the most isn't part of a problem. It's part of the Cavaliers' solution. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.